Alright, time for another DraftPhysics.com video presentation. DebatePhysics.com also. But, yeah, just nobody can show up for the debate about the theory and about the evidence. The arguments about what the evidence really suggests. I mean, if you take all of the evidence and look at it, what does it really point to? And people just won't have that argument. They just won't engage in it because, frankly, they don't have any evidence except little subtle, tiny distortions and perversions. Like, for example, the de Châtelet experiment of the 1740s, which was just logically plainly flawed, dropping round things, denting clay with round things. No one will show up to explain how, well, that really is good theory, because it really is bad theory. Simple truth. Alright, so Ian Gosling has now made 3 more videos. He improved his lever. From my perspective, clearly it's an improvement. But anyway, the results are a lot more indicative that there's a lot more energy there than they were telling me there was. And they insisted I had to concede because the evidence was just so overwhelming. And all of a sudden it's not so overwhelming. And all of a sudden he's not talking so bold. But anyway, so you can just judge for yourself, I mean, what the appearances are. Certainly looks like a lot more than 0.4. Now, I can't do a really good measurement because, frankly, the thing flew right off his screen. It had so much energy. But anyway, yeah, maybe I'll wait and see if there's a better video to try to bother putting it into a video editor and trying to show that, yeah, it's going a lot faster than 1.4 and a lot further. But anyway, so we'll play the video. It's only 2 minutes. What the hell? Can't hurt too much.
I realised that half mass was out of shot. Here's a few of the 1 mass.
So, not very exciting. Yeah, okay. So you get the idea. Now the problem is, as you just saw there, maybe you saw it. There's quite a range in his mechanism. So it's error prone in a sense, and that's not good. So you can go by the best result, and that's what you have to try to do. What's the furthest it went? Because it doesn't work sometimes. Sometimes whatever happens, the little flipper didn't work and he didn't get the energy into the object. So he gets a pretty high range of, 30% or something kind of deviation from one experiment to the next. And that's a little bit too much.
Machine gun fire!
So it's got to do this antics. So it seems pretty close to right on this little black line. Okay, pretty clearly the center.
Okie dokie. Right.
So his whole attitude has changed. Now it's all some little party thing or something, but whatever.
Hang fire. I can't get the button. Hang on.
So he's going to do the same thing again, so I guess he didn't think it worked or something. I don't know. So, understandable. Video can be a pain in the ass.
Gary, I've also cut that off the end of the lever.
Right. So he put a little stump for the lighter object, so he's pushing it instead of hitting it, which is, I think that made the biggest difference. So he did do the put both of them on the lever experiment, blah, 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 and, the results aren't as, you can't see it. It's not as visual as it'd be nice for it to be really visual, but it's not. You really do have to mark the lines and figure out, well, I guess it is pretty close to 4-1, so he's pretty close. So the mechanism can work. The question is does it always work? But anyway, yes, good idea. Cutting the extra lever off helps. But again, I would have just made the lever longer, because then you can separate the two objects further apart. then their strings won't tangle. You'll get rid of a lot of potential defects. But whatever, you're doing your experiment.
So that more than compensate for the little block I put on, and a little bit more weight. Right. The one mass, half distance.
So it's a little bit higher than that line there. So a little higher than the second black line. That was, almost to the, so he's almost getting up to this line now. So he's almost here.
Okay. What's next?
So, like I said, it's not too good that there's such variation in the results, but whatever. Probably should put a little fake block right on that surface so the two of them are both being hit by a smaller surface, just to even it out.
Okay, here's the half mass, and hopefully it'll appear on.
Yeah, and unfortunately you are above the center of mass again, which is, a defect, frankly. As he backs it up, it will lower a little, so that will correct. So when it's all the way retracted, it should be okay.
Green.
But it's unfortunate that pushing is more complicated. You probably have to adjust above it to start and then allow it to move to the center of mass. You don't want it to move up as it's moving, still being pushed. But whatever, it's a small detail. I mean, all these small details do matter, blah, blah, blah. All right.
If it doesn't, shout, let me know.
So this is, by their theory, this is only 1.4 faster. Yeah, watch it. Yeah, I don't think so.
Get in, boy.
It's going all the way over here. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's flying off the screen. So I'd say it's just kind of obvious.
I hope that's in.
Yes, it's in.
Now, by way of an added bonus, we're doing both together again.
So he didn't do the put it further out thing, which obviously is also going to help make it go faster and faster, as pointed out, over and over again. So he didn't do that experiment yet. But anyway, even with this one, even this improved setup, it's already demonstrating that the 1.4 thing doesn't seem very viable. But we have no word from them stating any concession to the fact that, yeah, that looks like a hell of a lot more than 1.4. So you would expect it to be about half because now there's two objects, but it's not really half because it is 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 plus 1 isn't 4. So to the 2 mass experiment, it's only adding one more weight, a half. And to the half experiment, it's degrading it by a full double. So you have to make the comparison in that light. Okay, we'll try to catch this. So, pretty much, if you go by distance, you could argue, okay, that this experiment is going further distance than the other experiment. So if you went by this distance, this is more like half the distance. So it's almost obvious in the sense that you could almost read it by the linear movement because it's pretty close to 2 to 1 in terms of this one's gone twice as far in the same time that this one's gone this far. And in the other experiment you could see that, okay, in terms of linear motion it's not the same, but you do have to understand that it doesn't gain any linear motion as it starts to go up. It starts to go exclusively up and very little sideways the further out it gets. So that's the catch. You have to catch it before it starts going up, I guess is the way to look at it. So, so the added bonus is that, yes, okay, the other experiments individually did look a lot like that. So, frankly, the 1.4 thing isn't looking viable. All right. So, enough of that probably. So, no comments conceding anything, just more snarky, useless crap. So, there's any point in reading it. So there's a stupid little poem crap. I mean, this is all they can do, okay? They can't counter-argue anything. They just do this mush. DraftScience, strange mind, pseudo-physics, undefined, nonsensical find. I mean, who is interested in whatever that is? I mean, why would... if somebody comments, go ahead, put poetry on one of my videos and see how long it lasts. Who the fuck could care? I mean, who with a brain could care? So the glowing guy, who I've already told him, go ahead, just add to your egregious disregard for your responsibilities as a citizen under a constitution. I'm sure whatever wacky country you live in, they have a constitution. I'm sure it explains that you have certain rights and responsibilities. And there's actual statutory laws, okay, and you have to obey them, and you're not, okay, and so you want to just say you just have contempt for the law, and so you're just proving my case for me. See, I'll just explain to the judge, look, you can see, just has contempt. I warn him that he's on shaky ground in the sense that he doesn't have any facts to back up his accusations, and he just keeps making them. And again, to Ian, do I really have a responsibility to counter these idiotic arguments in your comment section? I mean, should I just write a bunch of fake comments about you? I can say that 14 years ago, you were sent to court because you had I could just make up a story. And then you have to defend yourself? I mean, what the fuck? You can't, you should be able to realize that, okay, this argument has gotten very heated and there's a lot of trolling and assholery. And you can't do anything? You can't acknowledge that fact and take a little bit of responsibility for the shit in your comment section? So he says, looking forward to the excuses. I don't need excuses. This experiment looks like all win for my side. You're the one that has to make excuses now. And if he puts that lighter weight, as suggested, a little bit further out, you're going to even stuck for even more excuses, okay, because you're really not going to be able to explain the results. They're not consistent with your theory, fuckhead. Of Draft lies about his court defeat. So, it didn't happen. I'm just telling you, it didn't happen, okay? I mean, I could argue that the second judge did exactly what the first judge did, right? And I had to decide whether I wanted to spend another $700 to have the right to sue. And it took me a while to decide. I ended up filing a day too late. Technically, I wasn't too late, but obviously when they want to steal your money, they can do it. And so they did it, but whatever. But whatever. So you can't show a decision where on the merits of the case I lost anything. That didn't happen. My claim wasn't refuted by any evidence. Oh, Jesus. So you're factually incorrect. Again. Alright, every time someone makes a video, Draft wins. So what's winning in this? The very fact, what this is illustrating, again, just the fact that there's so few participants and so few of them are on the subject is frightening that this is the best you can do. I mean, this is how important facts are in your understanding of reality. You just couldn't care less, is what you're all screaming to me, is that you just couldn't care less about facts. Science is not science. It's a wishy-washy bullshit theory that you just like. And that's all it is. Alright, he gets the attention he craves. Attention from what? Where's the audience here? I don't see any attention. Okay, if I wanted attention, I know how to get it. And this ain't how to do it. Talking physics isn't how to do it. All right, his babble gets elevated to a serious physics argument. So where is the serious physics argument? Just show me the physics argument taking place. I don't see any physics argument taking place. Okay, I see people evading the subject. That's all I see. All right, he gets a reason to make more videos, so whatever. He gets an opening to make his speeches. So it's just such irrational 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's all just mush. I mean, it's useless mush. I mean, I'm clearly craving that somebody make an actual physics argument. For 2 years, I kept saying, could you draw a lever and explain how it doesn't work, how it doesn't conserve momentum? And nobody would do it. Now he has gotten so desperate that he wrote a fake comment pretending to be Puro. So that's a lie. You're also a slanderer. And clearly it's probably Farley who wrote it. Okay, if it is fake, which, who knows. Just so he could attack his daughter and provoke him into responding. I'd like to provoke him into responding in the sense that he has made accusations in the past that I'm going to shove down his fucking motherfucking throat. And I can't do that if he's non-responsive. I can't bury him on the ash heap of motherfucking dumbass, asshole, shit talker if he doesn't talk anymore. Yeah, if he won't defend his accusations. He's the one who's anti-science. Alright. Piro, unlike some people, has been admittedly strong in ignoring his taunts and letting him rot in oblivion. So isn't that interesting? When Piro's the one who's rotted in oblivion. He's festering in it. His discussioneers, was such a bold and magnificent success. 4 psychopaths talking to each other. And really, it is that bad. It's all just psychos. Psycho. I mean, that's all that YouTube will let you have as an audience, is the nutters. Unfortunately. So that's all we have. So like I said, I did 3 videos. There's nothing on them. No one responding to the fact that, it does appear like you've got a lot more energy there than you had before. No, nothing. No concession that the experiments, the improvements to the experiments have in fact demonstrated a big problem for their side. Okay, that the 1.4 theory looks like it's in big trouble. So anyway, that's where we stand, I guess. Like I said, I could pick this apart and prove the point, but I'm not going to invest the time in what is a video of, again, meager quality. He probably should have the camera back further so you can see the actual travel, and he probably, or he should just use less energy in. But again, if he uses less energy in and it's so erratic, it's going to get really weird results. So he should probably work on getting it to work the same way each time. I think his lever wobbles a little. I think that's a little bit of the problem, but who knows? Apparently, no one knows and no one cares, but whatever. We'll see where it goes. So I really don't think there's much else anywhere. I'll go look to make sure. Alright, nothing particularly interesting, so I guess we'll just call it a video and see what happens. Blah, 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 blah. Until the next time and such.